In lesson 4-7, we're going to learn about metric units of mass. We're going to start off using our whiteboards. We will need our whiteboard markers and our erasers, and of course your math journal. We're going to start with a quick warm-up. Remember, when we start math, to always have those materials ready. We use them most every day. So here on our whiteboards, you're going to go ahead and number 1 to 3. What you're going to do is put a greater than, less than, or equal sign next to number 1, and then number 2, and number 3. Go ahead and complete the first 3. If you need more time, remember to pause the video. So on the first 2, I compare starting in the 10 millions place. The first place that the numbers are different is in the thousands place, and the 3 is greater than the 2. The next one, first place that the numbers differ, is in the tens place, and the 8 is greater. And lastly, the hundreds place, and 6 is greater than 5. Go ahead and erase your whiteboards. I want you to look at this chart. It shows kilograms on the top and converted to grams at the bottom. Since we don't often measure weight in our country in kilograms and grams, to give you an idea that an average pineapple weighs about 1 kilogram. We abbreviate that kg. So is a bunch of bananas. 1 gram would equal the weight of a small paper clip. So just to keep that in mind, if you would take a can of beans, let's say green beans, do you think they would weigh 400 grams or 400 kilograms? So go ahead and write down either 400 grams, G, or 400 kilograms, kg. And number 2, does a cat weigh about 2,500 grams or 5 kilograms? Give that just a minute and go ahead and write it down. Pause the video as needed. Well, if I look at a can of beans, there's no way that it weighs as much as 400 pineapples. So it must be 400 grams. And if a cat weighs 5 kilograms or 25,000 grams, look at this for a minute. If I use this for a minute, 25,000 grams would be the same as 25 pineapples? No way. It would be 5 kilograms, or about the weight of 5 pineapples. Today we're going to talk about mass. Mass is basically how much matter there is in something. And 2 ways that we measure that is in grams, which we use a lowercase g, or kilograms, a lowercase k and g. The prefix kilo or kilo actually means 1,000. Or we could say there are 1,000 grams in 1 kilogram. Go ahead and look at the measurement scale at the top again. where they convert kilograms and grams. Here we know that 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams, and it goes up in increments of 5. So if Devin bought a box containing 30 kilograms of salt, how many grams is that? By using the measurement scale, I would go up to 30 kilograms and notice that they multiplied by 1,000. 30,000 times 1,000 is 30,000. You're going to now move into your journal, and we are working on page 124. Again, we're seeing that same measurement scale up at the top, and we are in lesson 4-7, solving metric mass problems. For number 1 and 2, we are completing the 2-column tables. We're moving in each case from kilograms to grams, and we know that it takes 1,000 grams to make a kilogram. So each time we're going to be multiplying by 1,000 when we move from left to right. So go ahead and pick up your pencil, and let's fill in the missing numbers. If there are 9 kilograms, notice that 9 isn't here, but we know that we're going to multiply it by 1,000. So 9 times 1,000 is 9,000. I'm going to skip the next one and go down to 18,000 18 for right now. 18 times 1,000 is 18,000. 22 times 1,000 would be 22,000 grams. Notice that when you multiply by 1,000, all they are is adding 3 zeros on. So if I'm going to move the opposite direction, I'm going to divide by 1,000 or take off 3 zeros, just like I added 3 zeros on. So going back to 12,000 grams, that would be 12 kilograms. If I have 28,000 grams, I'm going to move or remove 3 zeros or divide by 1,000. I would get 28. Now they throw this next one in with us and say half. 5/10 is the same thing as saying half. So what we know is that if we have half of 1,000, that would equal 500. So keep that in mind. So we're going to start with, let's start with 4 5/10. So let's start with this one right here. We know that 4 kilograms would be 4,000, and half of it would be 500 more. So 4,500. Let's keep moving down. 6 kilograms would be 6,000. 5/10 or half of a kilogram would be 500 grams. So together that equals 6,500. 7 5/10 kilograms would be the same thing as 7,500. If you keep that same strategy going, 3,000 would be the same as taking off 3 zeros or dividing by 1,000, and that would be 3. Here we have 8,500. Look what we did for the other ones. That would be 8, and the 500 would represent 5/10 or half of a kilogram. Continuing on. Number 3, it says solve these problems, fill in the missing numbers on the measurement scale to help you. It says a deer weighs 13 kilograms and a boa constrictor weighs 17 kilograms. About how many grams heavier is the boa constrictor than the deer? Notice that they are talking kilograms here, but we're converting our answer to grams. So let's use the same chart as they did here. Goes up by increments of 5. So here we would have 5 kilograms or 5,000 grams. 10, 10,000 grams. 15 kilograms would be the same as 15,000 grams. And 20 kilograms would be the same as 20,000 grams. So now let's go ahead and answer the question. It's asking how many grams heavier. So we're figuring out what would be a difference. What is the difference between 17 and 13? The answer would be 4 kilograms. But we're looking at for an answer with grams, so we have to multiply by 1,000. So the answer would be 4,000. Moving on to number 4 at the bottom of page 124. It says, solve the problem, fill in the missing numbers on the measurement scale to help you. Okay, we have that scale right up above, so we don't need to redraw it. But it says Todd and George took their dogs to the vet. Todd's dog, Duke, weighed 9 kilograms. George's dog, Bruiser, weighed 2 times as much as Duke's. How many grams did Bruiser weigh? So a couple of things here. Remember, again, we're converting from kilograms to grams, and we're figuring out how much did Bruiser's dog weigh. So if we take Duke, we know that Bruiser was 2 times the weight of Duke. So 2 times 9 would be 18 kilograms. But we need our answer in grams, so we have to multiply by, you're right, 1,000. The answer would be 18,000. Moving on to the next page, we're continuing to solve metric mass problems. Use a diagram or measurement scale if helpful. Remember, you have that measurement scale on the previous page. We are now on page 125. Tarek bought 3 kilograms of hamburger, 5 kilograms of hot dogs, and 2 kilograms of steak for a barbecue. How many grams of meat did he buy? Again, remember kilograms to grams. So, how much meat did he buy? It does help to circle the important information. So take 3 plus 5 plus 2. And what do you get? 10 kilograms. And remember, there are 1,000 grams in every kilogram. So the answer would be 10,000. Number 6, Ellen and Jim are checking in at the airport. I sure hope they go somewhere warm. Ellen's suitcase weighs 25,000 grams. Together, the weight of Jim and Ellen's suitcases is 49 kilograms. How many grams does Jim's suitcase weigh? So first thing I'm going to do is to convert Ellen's into kilograms. So if 25,000 grams is what it weighs, and we convert that to kilograms, that would be 25. Let me write it down here. Together they weighed 49. So if I take away Ellen's, this is Ellen's, and this is what they weighed together, the difference would give me Jim's. And why they would ever measure in kilograms would be somewhere else other than the United States. We would measure in pounds. But go ahead and subtract. The difference there is 24 kilograms. And then we just multiply by 1,000 to get 24,000 grams. If you were to go to the airport, they would not measure your suitcase in grams or kilograms. They would measure it in pounds. We use the customary measurement. And I know that most airlines allow you 50 pounds on a checked bag before they charge you extra. 50 pounds is quite a bit of stuff. That is all we're going to do. Don't worry about the rest of this page. If you'd like to do it on your own, you are welcome to. Go ahead and finish what you need to for today's lesson.